No Film School's coverage of NAB 2017 is brought to you by Blackmagic Design, amazing solutions for film, post-production, and television. Vimeo, the new home for 360 video. Learn more at vimeo.com/360. And My Rode Reel, presented by Rode Microphones, back with more categories, more chances to win, and over $500,000 worth of prizes.
Yo, I'm Micah with No Film School. We're here with Aputure. Ted's going to show us the new, looks like a big boy version of last year's
giant big boy version.
Yeah, what's going on here?
We got our new 300D. This is essentially the biggest light that we've made so far. It is pulling 300 watts of LED power into a, not going to blind the camera, well, maybe a little bit. Okay, you all right? You're good? That's 10% battery, I promise. I'm going as low as possible. This right here is a single source LED, which means you get one hard shadow, so it's not like panels. It says a TLCI of over 98. And here's something kind of tricky here. If you look right here, this is a magenta glass filter.
Okay. This is bumping and adding a little bit of magenta to that light, so it pumps that TLCI from 94 to what we had before to over 98. Bumping it over 90, it's now a world-class LED light in terms of that TLCI rating. But if you look at the light and you're familiar with the other lights then, it's really not much bigger, right?
Yeah, it looks like about the exact same size.
It's just a little bit longer. It's basically like 30-40% bigger. And the reason is because we're taking that weight again off and we're putting it onto the bottom. The ballast just got a little bit bigger.
Okay.
Big boy ballast.
Nice.
And the reason is this right here takes 2 batteries. And on 2 230-watt batteries, this will basically give you about an hour and a half.
Okay.
But let me just emphasize the ability to take a 2K LED light and just put it out into the forest on batteries is insane.
Right.
You know, you can essentially leave the Genie at home. We're basically taking technology and lighting that has only been accessible for studios, and we're giving it to everyone. Because if you guys know, the closest comparison would be, say, like a Joker 800 in terms of brightness.
Right.
That's a great light, but it's $5,000, $6,000.
Right.
We're trying for under $1,000.
Okay.
So all the photo accessories, all of your soft boxes, all of your beauty dishes, all of your grids, snoots, barn doors if you want to clip them onto the front of here, all of those are accessible and available. So this Fresnel lens, we'll snap this on here. This will basically let you focus that light. So when you go bare bulb, you have a 120-degree beam angle.
Okay.
When you put a reflector on there, we're talking about a 60-degree beam angle. When I put a Fresnel on here, I just have a little thing here. I spin this knob, and now I can focus it anywhere between 42, with a little reading on the side, all the way to a 12-degree beam angle.
Wow.
And when I do that, I essentially get to flood and spot those lights, just like those old flood and spot knobs that you had before.
Right.
But this is really sort of the mother light. On the bottom here, we've got the ballast control. It is a little bit bigger, but we're not adding more parts.
Right.
It's sort of the biggest thing. It's still the same thing we had, 3 pieces, and we changed these cables, so it's XLR to XLR, which means the textbook easiest easiest cable to find in the book.
All right, so yeah, one of my favorite things about these lights is the remote control functionality. It's super useful, something you don't see on lights at this price point. I use it all the time. Same thing with these lights?
Yeah, basically, traditionally up until now, you need DMX controls to control your light panels. Great again, but super freaking expensive. One of the biggest things that we do is we try to keep the Aputure family together. If you bought from us before, you used our gear before, this same remote that worked for that light 4 years ago is going to work with our new big boy here, so I'm using this right now. I pull this up. Together I hit just D because it's on channel 1D, and I'm striking that on and off. And now if I just go to any other light in this same booth, for instance, I've got some 120Ds up there, I strike here, and I go, hey. Super easy, all together on one remote. You can pair up to 50 lights to every channel and every group.
Wow.
You're not gonna need more than 50 lights, but if you do, give us a call and I'm gonna do something about it. This is the mini dome. So if you guys are familiar, we had the light dome before, which is sort of our 35-inch parabolic softbox. This is less than half as thick. It's really bright, I know, it's squinting right now.
I can see.
But 24 inches across for you photo guys, it's really similar to like a beauty dish. Really, really similar in that sense. But first thing we said was we're gonna have a grid on this light. So grid's added right now, softbox, and right here, this is parachute fabric.
Okay.
People said, hey, what if, light dome's great, but what if I take it to the Amazon? What are you gonna do then? I said, well, if you still want it to be durable, you still want it to be tough, this here is parachute fabric. This is the same stuff that the Air Force uses with their jumpers that come out of planes. People's lives depend on this stuff not breaking. It's really hard because not only is it durable, but we have to make sure that it's color accurate, so that when the light comes through it, it's not giving any like weird color cast or anything strange like that. These are going to be under $100, which is great, because normally a softbox will run you about $400, $500.
Right.
Taking studio gear, trying to give it to everyone.
Yep. What's the power draw in terms of the equivalent?
You bet.
So the power draw is going to be 300. It's going to pull 300 watts of power. It's going to give out about the same output as about a 2K tungsten. Now, it's really, really hard to compare tungsten and LED lights, but people are always asking it for us. Basically, what I'll say is that if you have the 120D or you have any of our 120 lights, this is 3 times brighter.
Well, yeah, that's the Aputure COB 300D, newest big light from Aputure at NAB 2017.